Good evening, my fellow creatures of the night, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, it has been an eternity since I've posted a video, and this video will explain to you everything that happened in the last year or so, even more than a year. I will try to be brief, but there are 12 months in a year, so a lot happened in 2019. So let's start right away by saying that this video might be two parts, because the first part I'm going to explain what happened in 2019 and the reason why I haven't posted anything in 2019, and maybe part two will explain the new direction my channel will take. So let's start with where I've been. Like you've seen by the title of this video, I titled this video Back from the Dead because I really feel like I've been dead this past year. Let's start with the end of 2018. End of 2018, good thing happened. My album came out and it was pretty well received. I mean, we're not popular at all, but we are popular amongst our friends, and we are trying still to make it. We've had troubles finding bandmates, but we did find bandmates, and to this day, two bandmates left. So first, our lead guitar left us, and then we decided not to replace him because we did have two guitar players. So we have a guitar player. We had a guitar player, a drummer, a keyboardist, me, and a drummer. Am I missing? Bass player, because I think I said drummer twice. And then we started rehearsing, and we made plans to do finally live shows. Half of the music that we would have done was going to be original music, and half was going to be covers. And it was going really, really well. And I do believe that in the beginning of January of this year, 2020, our bass player left us. Crap. So we are now looking for another bass player. So anyone out there in Montreal, if you're interested in playing in Lady Sinister, drop a line down below. So let's go back to the end of 2018. So the album Memento Mori from Lady Sinister came out. And then for those of you who've been following me for a few years now, you know that I used to work at a witchcraft store. And I say used to because let's continue with the story. So I used to work at a witchcraft store, and towards the end of 2018, I had a very nice casual talk with one person. I'm not going to name that person because I don't want to be like a bitch about it. Let me just get a sip. So I had a really interesting talk with that person, and that person kind of suggested that it would be more beneficial for my music career if I separated my channel in two. So one part would be all my DIYs and my hauls and unboxing and everything that I used to do before, and another channel would be only for my music. At the time, I thought it was a really good idea, and that's what I did. So I separated my channel in two. One was renamed, I don't even remember, it's not even important, but one was Lady Sinister, and I was going to rename the other one and whatever, blah blah. The moment I did that, never posted anything from that moment. And we are today, the end of February 2020, and I am now posting a new video. So the end of 2018 happened. The new year 2019 happened, and I was really happy that 2019 started because I thought that 2018 was a really hard year, but it wasn't the end of it. Throughout the months, in 2019 at my workplace, um, I changed job titles. So I went from back, way back when, from regular customer service, and then I got to assistant manager. I got the manager job, so that's the first half of 2019. First big half of 2019, and later on towards the end of 2019 I was promoted to director of communications. We'll get back to that. Personal life, as you might know, because maybe I've mentioned it on the channel, but my parents separated. I was really young. I was 2, and from the moment of the separation until now, I've never really been close to my father's side of the family, but I've really been close to my mother's side of the family. Information, random information, but you'll understand later on. So January happened. It was okay. I might forget details because they're not really important, but big events happened in the beginning of 2019. I do believe that in early 2019, I think it's around, I'm really sorry if I don't remember the dates correctly, but one of my uncles, really close uncles on my mother's side, so my mother's brother, passed away. And for some reason, I mean, not that I didn't love him, I really did love him, but he wasn't like my favorite uncle, but I really loved him. And he was my mom's brother, so just a bit older than she is. And she's still alive, don't worry. So he was a bit older and he passed away. And for some reason, it hit me at that moment that my parents aren't getting younger. I mean, my dad passed away years ago, and it was really rough because the circumstances of his death are gloomy and doomy. But I still have my stepfather, and that made me realize, going back to the story, Kim, that made me realize that my parents don't have as many years in front of them as they do behind them. So that hit me hard because I saw my family on my mother's side, and they were really, they're really close, and something for me made me panic a little. So from that moment on, I really wanted to focus on my family more, see them more, and just make sure that they know that I love them. So on my mother's side, we're really close, and we tell each other that we love each other, and we're really close. On my father's side, it's another story, but let's not go there right away. So that happened, and that made me see life as it was in 2019 so far in a different way. During that time, a lot of stuff happened at work. At some moment in early 2019, the witchcraft store where I used to work, they decided that they wanted to open a new store in another city, about 2 hours or something, a bit more than 2 hours from the mother store. So in Montreal, they decided to open a new store. They asked me if I wanted to go there, to move there, and be the manager of that store. Honestly, I really thought about going there, but then I realized that everything, I don't have a car, I don't even have a driver's license. I don't need it in Montreal. I wish I had one, but I don't, and I don't need one right away. So I declined their offer, but they offered me the managing job over there in Quebec. Remember that. It's in Quebec, the other store. So I declined the offer. I was a manager at the Montreal store, so I was ready to take part even more in the Montreal store life, and be the leader, and you know, take care of the store. For some reason, things went weird, and I will not go into details, but anyways. And then I declined that. Things didn't go very well with the band. I mean, we were rehearsing, but nothing was really happening. And with the guitar player, sorry, leaving us, and me wanting to do videos for YouTube, but never having the energy, and I never wanted to sit down and take the time to do this, because I was so tired and so drained from the work that I was doing at the store. And not only drained by the work, but drained by the one person in charge, particularly. I'm hesitating, but let's say that to use a big dirty word, I'm gonna use the word bullying. And bullying can take many, many forms. And I'm sorry if the person I'm talking about is watching this. I don't think that person is, but if that person is, I'm sorry about that, but that's what it felt like. So I felt like through the years, I was bullied on the way I was dressing, the way I was living my personal life, the friends I had, and it was really like subtle sometimes, and it was mind games, and anyways, so that really, really drained my energy, and I came to a point where I didn't love working there anymore. I didn't understand why it was always a mistake, everything that I was doing, even if it wasn't a mistake. And the people in charge were telling me that I was the best customer service person, that was the best to answer customers' questions live and on the phone and on the internet and on Facebook or whatever. So they kept on telling me that I was so good, but at some point I started hating the level of customer service they were asking us. So anyways, I started hating the job. I started being so unhappy all the time, and I started not wanting to do the extra work that they were not really asking us to do. Things were said from my part, from their part, and at some point, it was becoming unbearable. So that's the first part of the year. Remember, early in the year, my uncle passed away. Just a bit later on in the year than my last grandparent. And for those of you who know me, I'm into Norse spirituality. And in Norse spirituality, as you can see, in Norse spirituality, we are really, really working a lot and honoring a lot our ancestors. And I only had one grandparent alive. On my mother's side, my grandpa and my grandma are both deceased. On my father's side, my grandfather passed away years ago. But then, not too long ago, my grandmother on my father's side passed away. And as you remember at the beginning of the video, I told you that I don't really have a lot of communication with my father's side of the family, but I still love them unconditionally. Is that I still love them, whatever. I still love them. So my mom and my stepdad and my sister and we went to the funeral. Um, and it was, I'm happy that I went, and I had a big um, boost of love for my family on my father's side. I even saw pictures of my father because there was a video there. They were showing pictures of my grandparents and my grandmom and whatever. So they showed pictures, and I saw a picture of my dad, and it was heartwarming. So that happened. The year went on, and the atmosphere and energy at work didn't go really, it didn't get better. At some point, I met with one of the co-owners, and he um, presented me with the opportunity of having a new um, job in the company. So from manager, he wanted to promote me as director of communications. To be honest, when he offered that job, my first reflex was like, am I not a good manager? Are you disappointed? I mean, I was good enough to be a manager in Quebec City. Why is this going on? And he said that they really needed someone for the communications. What you have to know is that I'm not the best person to do social media, and as you know, I sometimes struggle with technical stuff and computer stuff and blah. So I was really intrigued why, and I didn't understand why they offered me that job. But I'm like, well, if that's what they want me to do, then I'll do it. And they kept on telling me that I was the best customer service person ever. I believe that they were blowing smoke up my ass, but I'm sorry, did I say ass? Well, they were blowing smoke up my butt. Um, and, but I accepted because I felt like they kind of didn't want me to be manager anymore. And everybody who knew me there at the store, and my coworkers and the clients, nobody understood why they gave me that job. Anyways, that happened. The year went on. I started my new job. And unfortunately, something really traumatic. I'm going to try not cry, but I might. I'm sorry. In October, on October 16th, I lost my little Layla. I knew this would happen. So, Layla was my white cat. Some of you know her. Some of you have heard her or seen her, my little Layla dumpling, because she would always go under the covers in my bed. And my little dumpling was getting sicker and sicker. I mean, she wouldn't go into her litter box, and she wouldn't eat, and she would only drink a little bit of water, and she wanted always to be close to me and sleep really closely to me. And we had to put her down on October 16th. It was a really hard thing to do, but I believe that she was suffering, and the vet told me that it wouldn't have been worth it to operate on her and see what was going on. I think it had something to do with her kidneys, I believe. Anyways, so that happened. I do believe that from that moment, everything started to unravel and go wrong. At the end of November, well, mid-November, two of the co-owners met with me. I knew they were gonna meet with me because a very good friend of mine, my sister Warrior, and my little raccoon. I love you both. Um, we were kind of, we are still kind of like the Three Musketeers. um, and my sister Warrior, she told me that they probably wanted to meet with me separately, and my little raccoon separately, because my little raccoon, my best friend, works there as well, used to work there as well. And they wanted to meet us just to see what was going on with us. I had the meeting on a Wednesday night after the store closed. We met, the two co-owners and myself, and the first question that they asked me was, we want to know how you're doing, and if you still love your job and if you're still happy here. Long story short, because this video is getting longer as I speak, long story short, I told them that I was getting really physically and energy-wise really tired. And the way the situation was going right now, that no, I was no longer happy at the store, and I was no longer happy with the job that they asked me to do. I told them that I never understood why they gave me the director of communications job. I told them that when I was promoted to manager, for me, it was like I found my place in the company. One of the co-owners kept on telling me, well, we don't know where to put you anymore. We don't know where to put you anymore. Yes, put me in the managing job. I can do everything in the store. Teach me correctly how to do it. Take the time to teach me the things that you think I don't do well, and take the time and teach me the things that you want me to do. Give me back the managing job. Not that the manager that they promoted wasn't good. He is good. He's still the manager there. He's good. But he doesn't know everything yet. He will. Good for him. He will. But the thing is, I told them that when they promoted me to manager, I felt like I found my place. Obviously, that wasn't their opinion. I'm not someone who's going to fight you. If you don't want me somewhere, I'm not going to stay. I'm not going to stay, and I'm very resilient, and I'm very, I'm a fighter. I'm a Valkyrie, okay? So I'm a fighter, and if you don't want me here, I'll go somewhere where I'll be appreciated. I know that I was somewhat appreciated there, but I was no longer happy. I was always stressed and anxious, because the moment the phone rang and a certain person was calling, my anxiety went through the roof. And I'm not the only one. Other people I was working with told me the same thing. Anyways, that's another story. I don't want to go there. So what I suggested to them, because they asked me, one of the co-owner asked me, okay, so tomorrow, give us your, long story short, but tomorrow, if possible, give us your answer. Are you staying at the store as the director of communication, or as a simple employee, customer service employee? Are you staying? But we don't want you to do this, 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 and this. We want you to be this, 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 and this. Or are you leaving us? I had been working there for almost 12 years, 11 and a half years, 11 and a half years. So that was a big decision. I went home that night, and we cried, and I cried, and one of the co-owners cried, and I never saw him cry before. So it was really, and he's a friend of mine, so anyway, I wasn't ready in less than 24 hours to give them an answer. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't in a right mind. And someone suggested that I go see a doctor, because they were worried that I was either on having a burnout or depression. So like, what? Signs are there, so let me verify that with a doctor. So I called one of the co-owners the next day, and I told him, I'm not ready to give you an answer. It's been less than 24 hours, and it's too big of a decision to give you my answer right now. So what I suggest to you, I have enough time in my vacation bank to take 2 weeks vacation, 2 weeks off from work. I want to do everything else but this work. I want to think about everything else but this work. And when I come back after 2 weeks, I will give you my answer. If I continue working here, I will follow we want you to be like this, and this, and we don't want you to do this, and this. If I go back, that's what I'll do. If I don't want to go back, I will give you enough time in order for me, supposedly, anyway, managers are supposed to train the new employees. When I was a manager, I was the one training the new employees. I was the one who would have to fire the employees if they weren't doing the job as a manager. As a director of communication, I never understood why I was the one who had to train the new employees. Well, I know, but I'm not going to say here because they told me in confidence. Whatever. So I offered that when I come back for my 2 weeks vacation, I will help you train the new employees. So you will have new people working with my ethics and my way of working, because I've been there for freaking almost 12 years. Anyways, not the first day, but I think the second day, I was on vacation. Obviously, they agreed to my terms. So I went on vacation, and about the second day, I went to the doctors, and the doctor diagnosed me with a burnout. So I was diagnosed with a burnout, and the doctor gave me the 2 weeks vacation plus 1 week. So my 2 weeks vacation turned into 3 weeks. I took 3 weeks vacation, and on the last day of my vacation, I met with one of the co-owners, my friend, and I told him that I think that my time at the witchcraft store is over. After 11 and a half years, I think I will leave the store. No, I will leave the store, and my last day will be on January 10th, 2020. And it was received really well. Surprisingly enough, it was received really well. My first day going back to the job, I was told that they believed that it was the best thing that I could do for myself and for the store. So that confirmed that I no longer had a place there. It broke my heart. I have to be honest, it broke my heart being told that it was the best thing for the store. Because in that, maybe that's me, I'm paranoid, but in that, it's kind of like everything that you did and that you would do wouldn't be good and wasn't good for the store. Anyway, that's probably me being paranoid, but whatever. I finished, my last day of work was on the 9th, or I think it was the 9th or the 10th of January. I don't remember, I don't care. And I was looking for a new job, and the jobs that I applied to for a while, it didn't work out, and finally I found a full-time job in a very good company, and it pays very well. And I started working there just last week. If I post this video this week, just last week, on February 17th, so just a few days after Valentine's Day that I spent alone. That's okay. So as of February 17, 2020, I am now working in a huge company, for a huge company, and I'm not gonna name it here because it's my personal life, but let's say that I feel appreciated, and I feel like, I hope once my training is done and my probation period is done, that I'll be able to help the members or the clients that call us. I'll be able to help them to the best that I can. So today it's the 24th of February, I believe, and I'm starting my second week there of training, and it's going well. I'm always anxious because I want to be the best. And I don't have, my training is not done yet, so I'm really like, I want to be good, but I don't know what to do totally, you know. So I'll keep you posted on that. So that's it for what happened in 2019. I mean, a lot of other things happened, but let's leave it to that. I think that the biggest thing in 2019 was all those deaths. Like Uncle, Grandma, and Layla. Those three deaths were the death of me. I mean, it saddened me a lot, and so that's it for now. I'm gonna stop the video here, and I'll do part 2 because it's way too long already, and I'll do part 2 for my new channel and where we're going with this. So for now, I'm gonna again wish you good night, sleep tight. Oh wait, not yet. I haven't done this in so long, so I don't remember what I have to do. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Like this video, share this video, make this channel explode, please. 2020 is the year that I want this channel to explode. And just a little sneak preview. The new name of the channel, it's still going to be Lady Sinister when you search for it, but the banner will say Lady Sinister's House of Goth. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to wish you good night, sleep tight, don't let the vampires bite. I love you all. Bye.